We surrounded by a whole lot of folk that ain't got a whole lot of nothing to contribute to our growth and elevation.
I'm nasty, you know me, but still be feeling you, baby.
A lot of time when God, Spirit, whoever you want to call it, get ready to do something new in your life, they will take you through an isolation season. And that isolation season may look like friends not coming around the way they used to, family members not having time for you the way they used to, people just not showing up for you the way they used to, and you finding yourself alone more often than not. And if you take this isolation season as a time to just be sad and depressed and go up chasing after people, trying to figure out why you lonely or why people not coming around the way they used to, you're going to miss your blessing. And isolation season is an initiation into the next step into your life. Because when you asking God and you asking Spirit for something new, the old has to be passed away. You're not being punished. You're not just going through no trial or no rough time, or it's just you and everybody switching up on you, they acting funny. That's not what that is. That means there is something greater that wants to be birthed into your life, and it requires you to be in a space where you can't hear from, listen to, trust nobody but God and Spirit and yourself. But if you too busy trying to run up behind people, chasing people, trying to figure out what you did wrong, or just accepting anything to have people around you, you're going to miss the mission and you're going to fail the test. If you want something greater, figure out what it is that you need to be focused on right now. Focus on these goals that you've been screaming about from the mountaintops, but you ain't made no efforts towards making these goals a reality. This is your time to prepare yourself. This is your time to show and prove that what it is that you say you want, you really about that life, and you're going to do what it takes to get there. Focus on you. Get close to Spirit, get close to God, ask for the messages, ask what it is that you should be focusing on, and take the time to really listen. You can't hear your intuition when you got a whole bunch of people in your ear, especially if these are people that don't match your destiny. A lot of times we be surrounded by a whole lot of folk that ain't got a whole lot of nothing to contribute to our growth and elevation, but we stay attached to these people because there's longevity in the connection. It don't matter how long you known a person. If y'all not benefiting each other, if y'all not helping each other grow and elevate, and you are asking Spirit and God to help you grow and elevate, those people are gonna be moved. Let them be moved out your way, because what's gonna come after that gonna be greater, but you won't get to the greater if you're too busy pouting and focusing on the fact that you feel lonely. Be lonely for a little while if it's gonna lead you to your destiny.
If your health is suffering, odds are your mental and emotional state is struggling as well. And if you want to improve your mental and emotional state, start in the one place that you have absolute control over: your body, your health. You can control every single day. You can control what you eat and how much thunder you bring during a workout. You can control that. You may not be able to control how your boss treats you. You may not be able to control how your wife or girlfriend feels about you today. You may not be able to control a lot of other variables. But the thing that you can control is how your body looks and feels. And how your body looks and feels is directly correlated with your mental and emotional state.
family you create will always be number one priority. You may love the family you come from. You may have always had their back and they always had yours. But don't ever forget, the one you're building always comes first.
Then when I met the monks, the predominant monks that I lived with were all men, and service was at the core of their entire being. So our teachers would always tell us that the only way a culture succeeds is if everyone wants to serve everyone else. And so that was like the encouragement of that culture, and that's where it became so real to me. And for me, service and masculinity go hand in hand, but service and humanity go hand in hand. But I think it's an important point to make is when I lived as a monk, we stopped identifying as men and women, and we were asked to identify as consciousness. And that distinction and difference just kind of created this huge like weight off my shoulders, because now it's like, oh, I'm not masculine or feminine, or I'm not this or that.
You just are.
I'm just consciousness. I'm a human. I'm a soul. I'm whatever you want to call it. I'm energy. And that energy is wired for service.